Week 6 on my journey to the new 1%. So, for the new 1% community side of things, I created content and thought of a few improvements to my content system. My virtual assistant edited and posted the content, as you guys have seen on my Instagram. For Sober Living, I continued to build my private money partner list. Got to get the money rolling in if I want to acquire the properties. And we got the pre-approval for our business credit. About 35 to 70K is probably what we'll be coming in at. So that's how we're going to buy our first property. I've had a few deals run by my desk that are in San Antonio, a seller finance and a sub-2 deal, and they can both work for Sober Living. The deal flow is out there. I'm locking in the money. This is exciting stuff. And my virtual assistant continues to message Sober Living operators on the consulting side for that quick cash flow. And I'm warming up my email to reach them on an automated campaign as well. So that's my week on the journey to the new 1%. What does yours look like? Comment below and let me know. So now we're going to take the deep dive into my week and what were the systems for content that I was talking about. So when I was going through, I typically go, okay, how are you going to acquire the business? Either find it, fund it, or do the due diligence on it. We talk about that as kind of one video of the week. Then the operating of the business, sales, marketing, customer success, team building. That's the second thing. We actually do due diligence on a business on Biz Buy Sell. The fourth thing we do is typically looking at an entrepreneur that has made it and used their capital for impact. So diving deep into a foundation. Maybe in the future that'll look like diving deep into a impact business or some impact investing moves that people are making. And then number 5 is typically some sort of controversial self-improvement business topic that now is going to start helping you with leadership. So I started thinking of ways to brainstorm the sales operations side of things. Like when you're operating the business, what are the questions people have about sales, marketing? I'm going to start planning those out beforehand so that my system for making the content, planning it out on Saturday and scripting it out goes a little bit smoother. So that's the tweak to the system I made. That second video, we're going to have a list of questions for sales, marketing, customer success, and team building. For the fourth thing, we're going to have a list of endowments that we're going to go through, and we're going to plan these out beforehand because it's kind of hard to find a good one when it's coming down to the wire and one that I really want to go after. And then for that fifth one, controversial business topics, we're probably going to be looking at a lot of John Maxwell's leadership principles because those apply to business and self-improvement. And then we're going to say, okay, how can entrepreneurs be doing this better? And that's what the kind of hook story offer is going to be about on the fifth one. The sixth one is typically about community investing. We'll probably just get a list of service-based business ideas and just a list of businesses really, and then how you can start them as a community investing model. I think the one I'll be going over in the next week is like a subscription-based model. And so I'll look up types of businesses and then how you could start them with, mitigating risk, doing what you love with people you love, and kind of employing leverage from the start. So that's the system for content. I changed a little bit, just wrapping my head around, okay, how am I going to consistently produce this content every week to where I'm not ripping my head off? Because it took me way too many hours and I was way too distracted. I want to be able to plan my content in like 90 minutes really, probably more like 60 if I'm being honest. And that looks like doing a lot of content planning beforehand, be like, what questions are we answering? And then I can type out the answers and stories and all that good stuff as well. So that's my system for content. I still want to get the advertising going, but I need the cash flow coming in, and that will come from the Sober Living side of things. But as Sober Living scales, we will be marketing these reels. We've seen a dip in reels when I first kind of did this new format where you're seeing me and the subtitles are popping up and it's really a much better video quality. We were getting around 200 to 250 views per reel. Now it's kind of dipped back down to the 90 to 120. And so we saw an uptick in views followed by a sharp decline of about 50%. And yeah, we're talking small numbers, but when you have 800 people following you, it's like it's reaching 25% of people versus reaching 10 to 15% of people. I just really want to be spending $5, $10 per reel, which would look like just $300 a month because I'm only posting a reel a day. $300 a month boosting those because $10 I might reach 1,000 people, and that'll give me more feedback on my reels that are going out on Instagram, and then maybe get a better hold on what's going on TikTok, what's going on YouTube, because my YouTube subscribers have kind of doubled in the past year from like 50 to 114, and my shorts are getting more views. And so do I need to start being on YouTube more? Do I need to start having a like social media manager, having my VA respond to comments or tell me when comments come in, whatever it may be? I want to get a system around that, but it feels overwhelming because I'm trying to get cash flow over here and produce content over here, and it's just a lot. And cash flow is priority number one. So as the cash flow scales, that's where the content with Sober Living or with the new 1% community will go. And of course, behind the content is the freebie, and behind the freebie is the community. And behind the community is acquiring businesses together in real estate. So for Sober Living, building my private money partner list, I still want to get that list to 100. I actually jumped on like 3 or 4 calls and I did not add them to my list. But alas, I will add them, probably later today or tomorrow. And just keeping that list up there, I think I have a list of like 30 people on there right now. And I want that list to be 100 of like people I can call or text and they know people with capital or they have capital and they can help me fund these deals. Just shoot out text blasts to them or one-on-one text, but text all 100 of them in a day. Be like, hey, just got a deal come across my desk. Can you help me fund it? And really building these relationships, staying top of mind with them for, calling them every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, asking them about specific things in their life and building some sort of rapport or relationship with them to the extent you can in a virtual world. But yeah, I'm still building that list, and really it's going to come from Deal Central IO and just contacting people who say that they're private money lenders on Deal Central. The business credit, great news there. We got pre-qualified. Really, we got pre-qualified for 15 to 35K, and that's because our LLC is so new. But I talked to a guy, and he was like, yeah, we might be able to push to get you more up towards that 35 to 70K, and we'll keep going and keep getting more funding for you, and that will help us buy our first property. And then from our first property, it'll be, okay, let's get tenants in there. Let's fill it up at probably 800 to 1,000 a month, depending on if we're in Austin or San Antonio. And then after we fill it up at 800 to 1,000 a month, let's structure an offer and start providing other services for them that will help take them to 1,500 to 1,800 per bed, which will increase our cash flow, which will help us pay down our debt faster because we want to do that, but then also help us get into another property. So that's really what we're looking at with this financing, building that private money partner list so that I can use other people's money to scale, but also my business credit the business credit the people in my LLC got. One of my buddies' credit is the reason we got accepted for it. However, with that business credit, we'll acquire our first property and we'll be able to start scaling from there and start racking up the momentum, specifically because we have the experience. So now we have the experience, we brought the capital, skin in the game, we're operating, we're cash flowing, we have proven we can do this. It'll be a lot easier to raise capital at that point. Finally, with the consulting side of the business, consulting Sober Living offers, there really hasn't been much headway with that. I need to double check with my VA to see how many emails she sent out, and let's try to get a metric on that, have her send out 50 a week or 100 a week or 150 a week. And I really just want to get to the point where I have like 3,000 on a list across the nation. I want to be peppering all 3,000 of them every week with the intent of, helping 5 or 10 of them with their offer for 1,000 to 1,500 a month. They're using that revenue to pay my VA more, get more Sober Living properties, advertise the content, etc., run it into the machine. So that's what we got for you guys today on the show. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on the next one. And remember, we are a community of people judged not by our wealth, but by our impact.